Just want to clarify, and maybe you could help me get up to speed. I know your agency's been directly involved with the Energy Highway rollout, and one of the issues has been the issue of trying to move the potential investors to stay within existing utility rights of way. And I'm just curious, in terms of your mission statewide, is there any learning curve or anything for future expansion of the grid and lines in particular? Is there an effort to try to stay within rights of way? Is there any change in regulatory policy through PSC?
Yes, so one of the, for long-standing policy of the PSC through the article citing process, we always look at minimizing environmental impact, including land impact of transmission. However, the importance of thinking about how we minimize land impact was certainly emphasized by Governor Cuomo 2 years ago when he asked us to develop rules to fast track, if you will, transmission that stays within existing right-of-way. The AC transmission line, which I think is we recently moved forward to the New York ISO for consideration, we've been able to, through the process, identified a way to get a significant amount of transmission built and staying within existing right-of-way, which will also help the upstate plants because now they can sell into the more expensive market in downstate.
Thank you. Secondly, in 2014, New York State consumers experienced a horrendous spike in energy prices. Yeah. And we understand the cause and effect, but as I researched this with utility spokespersons and others, there seemed to be no real safeguard in place to prevent this from happening again. And I'm just curious, what has PSC done since that time to protect against future price spikes?
Thank you for the question. We've done a number of different things. First of all, we've worked with the New York ISO to redouble the requirements that when generators are reliant on natural gas, that they have reliability of backup, and so that's particularly true in the city where we have oil backup. The other piece, though, that the Commission has done is that we've looked at the hedging policies that utilities use, in which case we're asking utilities to really buy a significant portion in a longer period so that they're not subject to these price spikes which happened in extreme weather events. And we've also promoted fixed pricing on the part of competitive retailers so that customers have the opportunity to have a fixed price for energy, as well as the other pieces I think are going to be, again, very important is the building of transmission, because the larger we can make the pool of resources, it helps with diversity, and then working with the ISO to make sure that we're looking at the reliability requirements and the plants are meeting their reliability requirements.
Last question. In regard to the REV initiative, has that initiative contemplated, and I asked this of the ENCON Commissioner, has the REV initiative contemplated energy storage as a consideration, particularly for renewables?
Yes, it has. So we have, energy storage, to me, is a very important part of the future of energy. As we think about more solar, more wind, having storage as a mechanism to help balance resources is important. And we actually today have several of these demonstrations I mentioned are using storage, and utilities are increasingly thinking about how they can think about battery storage as well as other forms of thermal storage as a resource to support reliability.
Yeah, in that regard, we have the New York Power Authority pump storage project in my district, London Gilboa. Is NYPA being engaged as part of this initiative, or where are they in the mix?
Yes, NYPA is as part of the energy portfolio. We work very closely with them. As part of the Clean Energy Standard, we are expecting that NYPA and LIPA will meet, their share of the requirements, and we know that NYPA is very involved in various forms of looking at advanced resources, whether it's K through solar, but they are also working with storage.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chairman.